What's happening in Gaza highlights Western hypocrisy. In our previous video, we discussed how Western politics confessions changed the Ukraine war. In this video, we won't delve into the history of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Instead, we'll focus on the actions and words of the West, revealing not just their real faces, but how this war disrupted the West's efforts in demonizing Russia and portraying themselves as defenders of human life. Take a closer look at the United States, decrying the deaths of innocent Palestinians while obstructing resolutions in the UN aimed at stopping the war. It's interesting to witness American politicians mourn innocent deaths while blocking these crucial resolutions and sending more weapons, white phosphorus included, a prohibited weapon under international law. Israel, as part of the West, exhibits unparalleled arrogance and aggression. Their blame game, refusing to even attempt to soften their military actions, is unprecedented. From the war's outset, Israel pointed fingers everywhere, even criticizing the UN as ineffective. This attitude towards the UN begs the question, if it's so ineffective and anti-Semitic, why did you participate or vote for its resolutions all these years? Not only does Israel call the UN chief anti-Semitic, but anyone speaking against innocent deaths is labeled the same. This ludicrous behavior not only damages Israel's image, but also impacts ordinary people. Government officials, Jewish politicians in the West, protesters worldwide, and internet users mimic these statements. It reminds me of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, where supporting your government's message becomes mandatory, otherwise you are an enemy of the country. Expressing a desire for conflict resolution or asking for preventing innocent deaths becomes an offense. But this level of radicalized aggression towards those advocating for peace is unprecedented. What makes it worse is Israel's government not only attributing anti-Semitic views to everyone critical, but also sends a clear message: we don't care what you say. We will do whatever we want with no consequence for us. Israel completely lost the war on the informational side, a significant failure of the current government. This led to an increase of anti-Semitism around the world, which gives me real concerns. Ordinary people shouldn't face punishment for actions their government takes, especially when they have no involvement in those decisions. Just being Jewish doesn't mean supporting the government. Even if someone supports their government, it doesn't mean they support every aspect of a war's execution. I understand how people are overcome by feelings because of the events that happened before the war. It's crucial to remember that a nation shouldn't shoulder responsibility for their government's actions. Politics is a very complex social science, and people cannot be demonized based on their nationality, ethnicity, or race. This message is for everyone. What complicates accepting these words, particularly in the Israel-Palestine situation, is that the Israel's government started not a military operation, not a war in Gaza. It started to label a situation as genocide. Specific criteria must be met. In military operations or wars, casualties among civilians occur due to collateral damage, rockets hitting homes or bullets ricocheting. Distinguishing between tragic accidents and deliberate genocidal actions is challenging, but there is an important difference: intention. Genocide involves purposeful actions where authorities knowingly allow significant civilian casualties to occur repeatedly. Israel's military actions reveal the government's approach to this conflict. The evident disregard for civilian lives and immense destruction speak volumes about their intentions. Statements like, "We must put pressure on Gaza so it becomes an area where people cannot live until Hamas is destroyed," said by Giora Eiland, former head of the Israeli National Security Council, stand as radicalized positions. Shockingly, these words find support among many people on the internet. It's one of the examples. Israel's ambassador to the UN. The Security Council resolution, which asks for the extension of the ceasefire for humanitarian reasons and the release of all those abducted, is divorced from reality and will not have any significance in reality. Evidence on the internet showcases Israel's army destroying cultural landmarks amidst the conflict. These actions say that this isn't only about Hamas. It fulfills not just one, but multiple criteria defining genocide. The ongoing war, causing immense suffering without proactive efforts to minimize civilian casualties, reflects a horrifying reality. Statements like, "We will not stop until we reach our goal," "We will make places inhabitable," "We will force people to move," raise alarms. If these actions don't qualify as genocide, then I don't know what genocide is. Amidst these horrors, we see how the West, the most democratic, the most civilized, known for cherishing human life above all, behaves. A lot of words, no actions. A lot of requests to stop everything, no embargoes. A lot of crying, sending more weapons. And of course, a lot of hypocrisy.
It's hard to look at what he's doing in Ukraine, what his forces are doing in Ukraine, and think that any ethical, moral individual could justify that. It's difficult to look at the It's difficult to look at some of the images and imagine that any well-thinking, serious, mature leader would do that. So I can't talk to his psychology, but I think we can all speak to his depravity.
Now, the same American politician, when he talks about Gaza,
this is war. It is combat. It is bloody. It is ugly, and it's going to be messy. And innocent civilians are going to be hurt going forward. I wish I could tell you something different. I wish that that wasn't going to happen, but it is going to happen. And that doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it dismissible. It doesn't mean that we aren't going to still express concerns about that and do everything we can to help the Israelis do everything they can to minimize it. But that's unfortunately the nature of conflict. All I can tell you is we're going to continue to make sure Israel has the tools and the capabilities that they need to defend themselves. We're going to continue to try to get that humanitarian assistance in. We're going to continue to try to get hostages and people out of Gaza appropriately. And as I think you've heard us say, a ceasefire right now really only benefits Hamas. That's where we are right now. And I understand the question, but I'm just not going to get ahead of where things are.
All of these happened after 2 years of screaming everywhere about how evil Russia is and how Russia is not in the civilized world anymore. From my perspective, thank God we are not there,